Welcome to Tracking the Wolves. I'm Zach Flackus, Deputy Athletic Director here at Northern State University. Appreciate you joining us today. I'll do a quick recap of Wolves athletics from this past week. Your Wolves football team had a tough loss up at Minnesota Moorhead to end the season. Ended the year 6-5, had a tough loss up there 48-33 as Moorhead's wide receivers and quarterback were just a little too much for us on a beautiful day up in Moorhead, Minnesota. Your NSU volleyball team also ended their season, had a tough road trip down to Wayne, Nebraska and Augustana as they faced the number 7 and number 8 teams in the nation. Your Wolves lost 3-1 to Wayne State and then took a tough 5-set loss to Augustana, the number 7 ranked team in the country. So your Wolves in the season ranked 20th in the nation, but unfortunately will not make the postseason tournament this year. NSU's basketball teams also got started this week as your men's basketball team beat up on Southwest Nazarene 91-88, real high-scoring game as he went down south to Oklahoma for 2 games. Then they lost the next night to Harding University 93-69 as they just couldn't get over the hump for it. Your NSU wrestling team competed in the DW Open. Had a great weekend for Blake Perryman as he ended up making it to the finals at 157 pounds. Lost in the finals but had a very good tournament. Fun to watch Blake succeed. Northern had several wrestlers that did not compete down there at the DW Open just to watch out for some injuries, heal up some nagging things, and get ready for the conference season. NSU's swimming team took a double dual win this weekend as they beat University of Minnesota Morris and University of Mary. Your NSU Wolves actually took first place in 13 of the 16 events, including a couple relays. Really had a great weekend for NSU swimming. Upcoming, we're going to have a couple of interviews with NSU's wrestling program, so we'll be back in a minute.
Being part of a great team means you know your role and you work your role to the best of your ability. If you're consistently going to show up and be your best, you're going to be part of that team. You can see the success they have over time. It's not just 1 year flash in the pan. It's consistent success over time, which makes them great. And that's where the work ethic comes in. The ability to come into work, do the same thing repeatedly day after day after day, and putting your best foot forward is going to separate you from the rest.
Choose the experts. Choose Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Welcome back to Tracking the Wolves. I'm Zach Flackus, Deputy Athletic Director at Northern State University. And today our guests are Tyler Stenberg and David Murphy, a couple of Wolves wrestlers. Gentlemen, thanks for coming on the show today.
No problem. Good to have us.
I got them both with the mic there, so you'll just have to put up with this for a minute. Hey, we've got off to a great season. We've actually got on the mat a couple times. What's the vibe of the team coming in the year so far?
I mean, we have good team chemistry. It's good to have a lot more guys on the team this year, for sure.
Yeah, definitely a lot bigger team this year. Pretty much the whole goal is just to get after it every single match and stuff and have a purpose.
Wolves wrestling, we've had Rocky Burkett now. This is his second year as the head coach. Murph, I know you'd been through Coach Tim. Is there a little different environment when we have multiple coaches? I know Coach Tim was kind of by himself for a number of years, and now we've got not only an assistant coach, but a graduate assistant plus some student assistants. What's it like having so many coaches in the room?
Each coach has their own philosophy, I guess, and different ways of teaching kids and how to wrestle, stuff like that. But Rocky's a really good coach. I like the way he comes in and teaches us stuff about wrestling and how to perceive through life and stuff like that.
It has been impressive so far, especially as the team has grown. It seems like the GPA has grown as well with it. Getting after the books, getting an education, those things are really important. Tyler, I know you end up transferring into Northern, coming from another school. What are your graduation plans, and when will you be graduating?
I plan on leaving here with a bachelor's degrees in sports marketing. I have a semester after this year, so I plan on staying, helping out with the team and stuff like that, and then look for job opportunities, staying involved with wrestling.
Okay, now originally, where are you from, and will you plan on going back there, or will you stick around South Dakota?
Muskegon, Michigan, and I plan on going back there, visiting with the family, because I haven't been with them for, 2 years now. And so I plan on going back there, visiting with them, and looking for a job there, otherwise wherever my career takes me.
Murph, I know you're a native of North Dakota. It's kind of nice because you're a multi-sport athlete for us. Now, you still throwing the javelin, or have you used up your eligibility in javelin?
Yeah, I'll still be throwing the javelin this spring. Well, not this spring. I'll be redshirting this spring, but next season I will.
Okay, and then after graduation, are your plans to stick around South Dakota, go back to North Dakota, or what's your major and what are your plans?
My major is human performance and fitness. I want to be a strength and conditioning coach. So pretty much just looking for openings for jobs, stuff like that. Hopefully get an internship sometime soon and see where that leads me.
Okay, I might be able to help you with the internship because we're always looking for good people in our department. So, Tyler, not so much. You're on your own with the internship, but now we'll work on it. Let's talk a little bit more about wrestling. I know we've had the SDSU Open. We went to the Dakota Wesleyan Open. When will we get into our dual season coming up?
We have our first home duel December 8th here against Concordia Moorhead, and then Then we have an individual tournament in Indianapolis, Indiana, and then we start dual season right after break.
Our conference has long been known as one of the more dominant conferences in wrestling. Last year we've got St. Cloud State as a national champion, numerous individual champions out of our conference, a lot of All-Americans. Murph, what is it like when you look at the schedule knowing you're going to have to wrestle Augustana, St. Cloud, Mankato? Do you enjoy that tough schedule?
I kind of don't look at it like saying we got to wrestle all these guys. I just take it like one match at a time, just preparing for each individual match, saying I got this guy next. All right, so let's work on this. Let's work on things I need to improve on myself.
I see Coach Burkett has taught you well. We're just going to focus on one match at a time. So what's your weight class this year, Tyler?
149.
Okay, and is that what you wrestled at last year?
Yes.
So have you had a chance to look, your first year in the conference last year, how does it stack up to your previous wrestling experience you had at 149?
It looks a lot easier this year, so that's a positive. But either way, I'm just going to give all I got and see where it takes me.
Okay, and Murph, you're wrestling 184 pounds. You're not the biggest guy on the planet, but what's it like to strap it up with some 184-pounders in the NSIC?
Well, like you said, I'm not the biggest, so I got to kind of put as much technique as I can in there. But then again, that puts more time in the room working on my own stuff.
This has been Tracking the Wolves. I'm Zach Flackus. We've had David Murphy and Tyler Stenberg as our guests. We'll be right back.
NCAA championships are something special.
Filled with memories we will carry with us for the rest of our lives.
We ask that you cheer hard for your institutions.
Acting responsibly and courteously towards those around you.
In the spirit of sportsmanship, enjoy the game, and let's provide our student athletes, coaches, officials, and fellow fans the respect they deserve.
Welcome back to Tracking the Wolves. Appreciate the NSU wrestlers taking the time out of their busy day to sit down for an interview with us. It's always good to talk to the student athletes. Upcoming events for NSU, now that our football and our soccer and our volleyball seasons have all completed their season, cross country is also done. We're transitioning over to all of our winter sports. So our upcoming events, we're going to have our men's basketball team. They're going to go on the road. They're going to face Shadron and Black Hills State University over the weekend. The women's basketball team is going to have a 3-game swing as they go out and face Montana State, Black Hills State, and Kearney. NSU swimming team is also in Kearney for a duel over the weekend. And then your NSU wrestlers are up at Moorhead for the Cobber Open. So most of our athletic teams are on the road this weekend, so it'll be 2 weeks before we're back with a recap of how they've done, and we can get into the home conference season. This has been Tracking the Wolves for NSU Athletics.